Okay, Mike, here we go for part two of your coursites training. Let's go back to this button. Remember, we've already logged in, your page loaded. See the on button. Make sure that's always on when you're editing. Let's go to syllabus here. Uh, we don't have to keep it high. You know, we could rename it to like mine. Mine is set home page. That's a default that they set up. And I mean, you can leave it home page. Let's go back and just make it home page. I'm actually working live on yours, so we're going to hit save that as home page. My computer's working like a turtle. I apologize. Wow, that's terrible. All right, so here's the whole thing, Mike. Coursites predetermines some of these pages. Like, for instance, the home page had all kinds of different calendars and stuff. It's just confusing to the student. Trust me, we've been doing this like 6 years. Um, I mean, you can leave syllabus, rename link. Let's delete it. There's no content, so we'll just delete it. Oh, yeah, I love technology. It kicked me out, so I gotta log back in. There you are. All right, let's go back in. Sorry, Mike. All right. Basically, once you get in, I mean, it's just messing around and playing with your program to see how you like it. The only thing we really care about is the radio buttons on the left, which I'll show you in a minute. Once you hit apply changes, I forgot to hit that in part one. You'll never have to fix that again. Okay. The radio buttons are these things called right here. So see how it says syllabus? I have it hidden. I don't care. You can put, whatever you want here. It's going to come up home page, but right now yours says syllabus. Keep it hidden. When you come to information, information can be left, but as teachers, they're like, where's our stuff? Content, information, discussions. These are just words that are put in there by coursites. You can change them. I like to put here, I'm going to change it to syllabus and weekly schedule. Now this is, hit the green check, should save it. Okay, great. Now, since it does not have this little box, students will be able to see this. This is where you want to put in the content of your syllabus and how I did my weekly schedule. All right, now to put in your syllabus, I can actually do that for you once we create an online syllabus. I'm just showing you this training just to give you an idea to feel around. But basically, we'll recreate your distance syllabus that you have right now, the 589. We'll create it into an online syllabus. Okay, like I told you on the phone, there's going to be 5 weeks of discussion questions. All right, if you look at the radio here from discussions, you're going to post the 5 most important questions out of the 10 text questions that you really want these students to get out of it. They'll answer your question on Tuesdays of each week, and then on Thursdays they got to look back and see what people answered in the class, and they got to comment on the fellow colleagues' answers. And it's learning and sharing. It's collaborating. You learn a lot. Some people come up with some really good answers that you're like, wow, I never thought of that. And then you could use it in your classroom. And it's also a prerequisite that the university wants. So obviously, if we don't have any discussion questions, then there's no such thing as our online class, and we can't offer these. So part of these is basically set up what we at MTI thought would be very beneficial, plus it's mandated by the university. So if you keep everything here, syllabus and weekly schedule, and then what you'd want to do, once you get this set, okay, you come over to the page and you hit build content. What I do is don't worry about file, items, videos, web links right now, image. Just come up right here next to content, the little arrow. You click it, there's where you get to your edit. Okay, so now I'm on my, hold on, why did it go to content? Sorry. I want to go into syllabus and weekly schedule. I'm sorry. Come here to the arrow. It works on any radio button. Come here to the arrow, click. It's going to say edit. All right. You're going to click edit. It's going to come into this page. All right. Now your name you should keep the same, syllabus and weekly schedule. I always keep black. Changing the color is pretty self-explanatory. Okay. You hit the color, change it. Here's your text box. Now, what you put in here is exactly when you hit submit is what they'll see. So what you want to do is simply this. Welcome teachers to MTI 589, blah, 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 the whole title. My name is Mike Foster. Here's where you can give them a bio, a couple lines of who you are, what you've been doing. I wouldn't get, too involved and tell them exactly where you teach. I'd tell them how long you've been teaching, you have, your master's degree or whatever. And then this is where you'd post your schedule and your syllabus. Now, it's easy to do your syllabus. Once you have it in your files, you don't have to copy and paste it in here. You can just come down to where is it at? Well, I guess it won't allow it in here. You can hit submit. Yeah, you can copy and paste it here if you want. You don't have to. You can put a link, or you can just copy and paste the whole thing. Doesn't matter. It's up to you where you want to put it. But as long as you put your syllabus, you can copy and paste it in here. I would just link it. There's a way to link it. But then I'd put my weekly schedule like I did. Week 1, post, do this, do that. Don't worry about all this stuff, Mike. I'll walk you through it. Once we get this set up, what will happen is you'll probably have to be on one end of the phone. I'll be on the other. And we'll both be on the same screen, and I'll show you how to do it. So this is just giving you a quick, really fast tutorial. I mean, the first one was 15 minutes. I'm already at 7-minute mark, and it can be confusing. But the best way to do it, once you get these radio buttons down, all right, it's all about just messing around with the content. That's up to you. But as long as we have these buttons all the same, we're good to go. Real quick, I'll skip down to discussions. This should change to discussions posts. So I'm going to go over here, rename the link to discussion and post questions. Actually, since they're weekly, let's call them weekly. I think that's what I call them. And posts. Okay, save that bad boy. All right, so this is very important because you got syllabus and weekly schedule. Content is actually, I'm going to change that to assignments. See how I'm doing it? Rename link, because everybody, what do I have to do? When is it done? When is it due? I mean, and how do I get, assignments? I wouldn't offer any quizzes if I were you, Mike. You could, because you have quizzes in your distance syllabus. Like I said, you don't want to make it too hard. I think my online has 5 discussion questions, and I use maybe 5 of the quiz questions just to make sure they're paying attention. You don't have to, but I would just put assignments, okay? And you click save it. So here's the radius you really need, okay? These are the buttons I'm looking for. Syllabus and weekly schedule, assignments, your weekly discussion and post. And this is not important, this is not important, that's not important. Okay, when they get help, they can help. What's great about coursites is once they enroll in your class, there's 24-hour help, either email or phone. They don't even have to bother you. They probably will because we're lazy and they know your email, but here, tools, we'll get into that if you need it. Groups, we'll get into that, but I want you to scroll down a little further here. There's a whole grading center where you can set up your grades. If you want to get into that, that's fine. Here's where I said where you do invite users and groups. You'll click users and groups. It's going to ask you for users. You click users. It's going to take you to your create users, enroll. Here it is, invite. Okay, right now if you look, you are the instructor. You're available. Okay, you never want to remove. Be very careful. Never have this button hit and hit remove. Otherwise you're going to re-invite somebody. You're going to kick them off the list, and then it's going to take like 24 hours to 48 hours to have CourseSite redo it, and then people might miss an assignment. So you're already logged in. To invite, you would just say invite users. All right, you want to keep them as a student, And here's, like I said, it's an email. Basically, once we give you the student list or your teacher list, you simply click here. He'll type in, here's mine, N-E. Well, here's an old one of mine. Check that out. See all the emails? And you separate with a comma. So if I put everybody in there, here's myself. I'm going to back it up. I'm just going to include myself just in case I accidentally email. So you would just put everybody's email, comma, you know, for multiples. All right. And then subject, always put in welcome to MTI 589 online. Now you don't have to get into and put the whole word. Everybody knows if they're. I mean, they applied for your class. They know it's 589. You don't have to type in all those words, and it automatically generates your email. This is what the student's going to get once you click submit and you put everybody's name in there. All right, it's going to be, I'd like to invite you to participate in my class. Blah 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 blah. Scroll down. There's your course description. Automatically puts it in. Blah 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 blah. Click to register. I look forward to you. It already puts your name, everything. You're done, right? Look at that. It even tells you, contact me via email at mikefoster18 at gmail.com. That's kind of, let's make that Arial black. All right, you want it to stand out. Also put in here, and once you start talking to the students or corresponding, make sure they email all your work to mikefoster18 at gmail.com. Now remember, Mike, we do all the grading. However, when you teach an online course, you would have to correspond with the students. You'll have to grade their work, and you'll have to submit and tell them, you know, they got A's and stuff, and then you let us know. And we will submit all the paperwork for them and get them set up. So you are going to have to do the grading online because it'd be easier for you to do it. You get $100 per person. So hopefully we get about 15 people in your class. So you make $1,500 in about 5 weeks. Once you're done teaching this class, you'll get your bonus of $350 for creating the class. So once we get this up and running here in the next couple of days, by the end of probably next week, that's when you go on the email campaign. I want you to email all your friends. I have some flyers I'm putting together. I told you I was working on it before. I got halfway done. I got like 50 flyers I got to complete. The other guys in MTI are about as creative as a turd, so I've been doing all the creative work. But I'm also the assistant director of a big STEM program, so I've been really busy, but I'm knocking it out as we can. So as you look, I changed it to mikefoster18 at Gmail. Goes to your phone. All you'd have to do is hit submit, and it would send all the emails, and you're done. And then people would click these little links, they would register, and then you would get an email saying, hey, so-and-so is registered for your course. All right? It's pretty cool. Now when I said you get an email, you're going to get an email to here, which means you'd have to do this. You ready? You'd have to go back into users and groups. Okay? Then you click on users. Then you come up here and you go invite, and you go check invitation status. So right now it's going to show 0 because we didn't invite anybody. But if you would have invited, like let's say 10 of your students, it'd show their name, when they accepted your registration, and if they came on, it would have their username, their passwords, everything, so you can comment and talk to them, okay? So here we go. As long as the first one, never use the first one because it's programmed to do in that stupid homepage, and I can't figure out how to delete it, and when you do it, it messes it up. So just make it hidden. Then come down and change this one to syllabus and weekly schedule. Change the next one to assignments. Then the next one is weekly discussion and post. These are only 3 you really need. Okay? Now we looked a little about invite. Here's what's funny. Now, you're going to be like, okay, how do I do my weekly discussion and post? It's pretty easy. It's called forums. What you want to do is create a forum. Now, your first forum, you hit create forum. It's going to open up. Okay, I would put the first forum as week number 1 discussion question and posts. Or you just leave discussion question, okay? That's going to be what they see, week 1 discussion. Then here, I will just copy and paste my question that I wanted, my text question, right off my syllabus. Copy and paste it here, Mike. All right? So let's say you cut your first question, I mean, I could look if you want. Here, let's do it while we got it on the computer. What did I do with your actual? Let's go to, here you go. There's your syllabus. So let's say my first question is, where's your first question? Introducing chapter 1. Think of the greatest leader you've ever known, the one that has inspired you the most. What was your relationship with that person, and what qualities did they possess that made them such a great leader? Okay, let's say I want to do that. All right, so I would just copy and paste that. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. I'm just showing you. Copy and paste it. All right. Come back to Blackboard Learn. Put it in there. There it is. Okay. Now, that's the week 1 discussion question. I want them to answer that by Tuesday of the first week. Now, here's where we talked about in training 1. You have to make it available. Okay. Now, if you hit display after, you don't need anything here. It's going to display after something. It'll be live. Okay. So week 1 is fine, but the problem with this is you got to, when you do post week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5, you have to display it after a certain day. Otherwise, your students are going to do all your just posting in 1 week and be done with the class. Okay, so you got to go, for instance, I think your first class is, I'm not sure, March 3rd? I'm not exactly sure when your class starts. But you would change this, since it's your first question, you'd have it available. It doesn't matter. Okay, display it till, it doesn't matter. But if this were week 2, you'd have to make this after week 1. So for instance, here's January. Let's go to March. I think you start March 3rd. All right, this would be week 1, Mike. Okay, so you don't want to have the other post available till after March 8th. Because if you have them all available here, I guarantee you they're all going to finish the post, and then you're going to be like, where's my grade? And that's, the college is going to pinch us on that, and I don't want to get in trouble. So first post, don't worry about the date. When you go and do the second post, I always use Saturday. Okay, so I would do this. Let's say this is your second post. I would say display after March 8th, midnight. And then you leave this display until, who cares? Let it show forever. But you got to worry about when you first show it. So this would be your second post, okay? Now you're into your third post. I would just move down to the 15th. Display after the 15th. Now you go to your fourth post. Display after the 22nd. And so on. Your fifth post. Display after the 29th. Don't worry about display until, because once they see it, you could leave it up there. Who cares? Okay? But the big part of the forum, when you go ahead and start this, is you just copy and paste whatever question you want. Okay? Come down to yes, display after, and this is important. I pretty much did it for you here if you look, but I'm going to erase everything so you can do it on your own. If your course starts here, obviously, that following Saturday, I always start the second discussion. So you open up with your first discussion, class starts on the 3rd, make it available to Saturday. Discussion 2 is available Saturday, discussion 3, discussion 4, discussion 5. I'm sorry, this would be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're done. Okay? I'm going to erase this because I don't want you to do that, so I'll hit cancel. All right. So basically, when you come to adding your weekly discussions and post, you just click on Create Forum, put in discussion question 1. I put week, I always do the same. Like, if you see how mine pops up because they're all saved. So I go week number 2, week number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it all the same, all caps. All right. This is where you copy and paste your questions. Come down here, always have yes, and then this is the time you display it after. You hit submit, okay? Don't worry about all this. This is standard. This stuff here is perfect. They automatically put it in there, okay? And you don't have to touch anything. Don't worry about check. Just hit submit, and you're good, all right? Make sure edit mode is on. You're doing all this work for nothing if it's not on. All right, so took care of the radials. Your radials are good to go. You don't have to worry about it. Now assignments, all right? If you want to put in your assignments, this is where you're going to put, click on the word assignments. There you go. Then it opens. All right. It says build content. You could put in audio, you could do image, you can do videos. All right, that's pretty cool. We have a couple people that are flipping classrooms. It's really cool. They got videos embedded. You could just one click and you're embedding a video. I go here, click on the arrow, click edit. Okay. Now, this is so easy because it's just a text box. Text box. You want assignments? Perfect. Leave it right here. Type in your assignments. Week 2, application 1 is due. Week 4, application 2 is due. Week 5, your final assessment is due. Or, quiz 1 is due, quiz 2 is due. On your weekly schedule, it'll show when all the assignments are due. But as teachers, you got to make assignments. I would tell them exactly, not the date. Don't put the exact date, Mike, because if you offer this class again, you're going to have to keep going in and changing the date. I always put weeks. Week 1, this is due. Week 2, this is due. Week 3, this is due. Week 4, don't put March, April, because what happens, we were doing that in the beginning, and then, oh my gosh, we start, offering the same course over and over again, and I had to keep going back here, changing. So never put an exact date. Always put by weeks, because that way you never have to rechange it. All right, and just mess around with, once you're in here. What assignments do you want? We usually do this. Week 1 is a Tuesday discussion question. Thursday they meet with their colleagues, and that's pretty much, it. And then the following week, week 2, I have them like one assignment will be due. One application from the syllabus is due. They also still have to answer a discussion post on Tuesday, and then answer a colleague post on Thursday. Your wife probably can give you more insight on, how that worked. I don't think you took an online class with us. She took several. It's easy posting and stuff like that. She'll show you how to get through there. But basically, if you just look at what I've done in the last 2 trainings, it'll give you an idea of how to do things. And you can never mess it up. As long as you don't hit submit. If you hit cancel and you have something, then you can ruin it. But just take your time and play around with it. So like I said, I already set it up. You got syllabus and weekly schedule, but you have to enter stuff in there. So let's go to syllabus and weekly schedule. It's going to look just like this one. Always click this little gray. These are shortcuts. But it takes longer. You want a YouTube video, voice, This is cool. But I just go right here, get it done, edit. It opens. There's my title. Go right in my text page. Where's my syllabus? All right. Once you create a syllabus, copy and paste it right on there. All right. I always keep my syllabus displayed all the time. Just leave yes, track number of views. I don't care about that. And then you hit submit and it saves it. All right. There's also, you could go into all kinds of other stuff if you want. Change the font, put a picture. You can preview what it looks like. You can make this full screen. You can show you more things. It's up to you what you want to do. Now I left it just ugly and green. It's pretty standard. You could change it. You could add colors. You can do flame, fuchsia, garnet. See, I just clicked on the color palette. Moss, night, ocean, I don't know. Change ocean, watch, it just changes it. Ooh, ocean, that's really cool, right? Wow. Or coral. Ooh, that doesn't look too good. That's pink. All right, so I always change my class colors. That way it helps me keep it going. Green and white's fine. You want to do garnet, it only changes a little bit. That's all you watch. When you hit cancel, this is what it's going to look like. If it's garnet, it's just red. So it's up to you. If you want green, red, it doesn't matter to me. There's a color thing. Okay. I've taken up almost a half hour of your time now. It's very fast. I understand that. Once you start adding stuff, I hope you will. And just hit submit. You know what I mean? And then we'll change it on the phone once we're together, because I'll be able to log into your account and I'll see it too, and I can help you. So the next phase is to get a phone conversation going when you're in front of your computer and you got a good half hour, 35, maybe an hour. I'll be on my computer, you're on your computer, we'll be logged into the same account, and we'll just hammer this stuff out. Okay? So what we need to do is, why don't you go to our website when you see our online courses. Go to a distance course, pick 570. That's mine, 570. Look at my syllabus, and then go look at my 570 course, which you will not be able to view, but once we get together and we are on the computers, we'll view it together, and I'll show you. It's not that hard to make an online syllabus. You already made the hard one. The hard one is the long distance one you made. Now you're just going to take bits and pieces of the hard one the distance one and convert it into an online. So you're going to shorten it. I cut out the quizzes. So you're going to have 5 text questions that are really your discussion post questions. You're going to have 2 applications, one in week 2, one in week 4, and then your final project that you usually have your evaluation one that was worth 100 points on your other syllabus. It's worth 100 points, and that's week 5. So basically, that's the whole part of your online. All right, so you got 5 text questions, which are really your discussion and post questions. You have 2 applications, during one for week 2, one for week 4, and then your evaluation reflection piece, that 100-point one from your distance catalog, your distance syllabus, that will be your assignment right there for your online. But have no fear, I'm kind of long-winded, sorry, but it's not as hard as you look. So you're already logged in. You're Mike Foster 18. MTI 100 is your password. I changed it to Garnet. Like I said, who cares? Change it every color you want. Make sure this is on. Okay. We got everything lined up for you on the side. Groups, I'll click on groups. Groups is just, you could assign people all kinds of stuff. All right. You could set your kids in a group, your teachers in a group. Let's say you're doing group A versus group B and you're doing some assignment. You could separate them if you want. You can import groups. You could change colors and give them icons. That's really in-depth stuff if you really want to do that for one class. We have some professors who are really into this stuff. And then you go to tools. Tools are pretty cool if you have time. These are things you could add to your actual page. Achievements. Somebody does something really well, you can give them a star. You can actually import grades if you'd like. I do grades individually because for some reason coursites screws up grades. They were issuing D's and C's when I really was scoring B's. You can make your own roster, which you don't have to. It does. You can send a mass email. You can put stuff on your calendar. You can actually make blogs for your courses. This is really cool. These are things you can add to your course. There's course messages, coursites live, voice email, voice board. You can podcast. Okay, this is pretty powerful. There's wikis. So I suggest you just scroll down and play around with this. There's a search engine in here for you. This is all under tools. And you could add these to your courses if you'd like so people could view them or click on them. All right, there's the help. But the only other thing you need down here is actually the users and the groups, because that's how you invite people. All right, users and groups, you click on it, users. It's going to take you again, like I showed you, over to your invite. And when you go to invite them, it's going to be like this. All right, to whoever you want to email it to, separated by a comma. Subject would be welcome to 589. Your letter's already done. And it should have saved your Mike Foster bolded. Did it do it? Nope, didn't save it. There it is anyways. There's MikeFoster18@gmail.com. So I would suggest every time you send invites to people, just change it to Arial Black. I didn't hit submit because I don't want to send it to anybody. All right, hit submit. It should keep it. It'll probably say no subjects. You didn't put anybody in the email, so it's probably going to be screwed up. All right, so that concludes a whole lot of stuff. All right, brother. So I'm going to send this to you. And when you have some time next week, we will sit on the phone and hammer out the details. All right? Take it easy.